Okay, I'm making this video to see if I can help out a Video Karma member. He's got a Zenith TV here that's got a tint issue. I don't know how well this is coming out, but he's got the tint rotated fully counterclockwise, I think he said it was, whichever way is to make it more purple, and it's still too green. So he has a lack of tint range. So the tint control is working, it's just too green. So we're going to try to address that. This is his on-air picture that he posted. Now I'm going to go to the Zenith manual here and try to point out what I think he can do to perhaps resolve this. Right here where I'm pointing is a coil next to the 3EJ7 tube, and according to this is the burst amp output coil right here. Now, according to the service manual here, what we're trying to do is make a color channel adjustment. Though he doesn't, I presume he doesn't have a keyed rainbow generator to do this test with, and typically you put a keyed rainbow generator on here and you'd connect up a scope and try to set this up. And basically these bars would be in this order. The 6 bar would be max when the tint range is set to 0, and you have the correct test points. Without not having all that to do, we're just going to see if we can just set the tint range control to the center and simply adjust the burst amplifier output coil to see if we can bring that tint range into play. So I'm going to go to his online picture and see if I can point that out a little more clearly here. Bear with me when I get to the shot. Alright, here's the set in question, and I'm going to try to point to where I believe that would be. Here's the back of the set. Here's the first row of tubes starting from the back. Those are some compactrons. There's this first tube, and here's the tube, this 3EJ7, the second tube from the left. So immediately to the right of this tube and down, there should be a coil that he can get a TV alignment tool in there and to adjust. The coil should look something like this. It just looks like a row of pins. Zenith uses this kind of coil and mounting method for their tube sockets and their coils. Underneath here you should actually see a coil. That's a coil, tube. I think there's another coil inside here I can't see. Here's a tube, and it's the next coil over. Now I'm going to show the book again so we know exactly what we're talking about. And maybe a diode here can see. That's the user's name. Again, here are those two big fat tubes. There's that coil that could easily be seen. Here's a tube, there's a coil, here's a tube. That's the 3EJ, if I can focus, 3EJ7. And here is the coil that I believe needs to be adjusted to bring that tint range into play. I'm going to post this and hope this helps. Oh, by the way, this is the kind of tool you should be using to adjust with. It's a hex head adjustment here. Plastic, you don't want to use anything but the correct tool, because what you're turning there is a slug inside these coils that's made out of ferrite material, very easily cracked. If you stick you go near with one of these kind of things, a metal hex, yeah, it'll fit, and it'll also crack that slug. So you do not want to do that. It'll absolutely ruin your day. Use the right tool. You'll tape a little piece of plastic on the other end. I mean, a little piece of tape on the other end, make it like a little flag post. And then when you turn it, you can just adjust it a little bit, and you'll actually see how much the flag turns, and you can return it back to its starting point in case things don't work out. And this shouldn't take much of an adjustment. For a tint adjustment like this, I think a quarter of a turn max. You should see it should at least get into, you should at least see some change in the tint, if not correcting the problem completely. If that's not it, there are of course other possibilities that could be in play here. I'll see if I can find a schematic to point at. And these are all similar in the way they work. Okay. What you're looking at right here, here's your hue adjustment. There's the transformer, I believe, that's being adjusted. So, I mean, you got a pot, you've got a coil across the pot, you've got a resistor here, I think it's a 12 ohm resistor, and you've got a 1800 PF 1K, that's probably some kind of disc cap, and you have a .001 involved here. I really don't think this is the problem. I mean, I guess, if the hue adjustment is working, I have to assume these parts are probably okay. I'm almost 100% sure it's going to be the adjustment of this transformer we're talking about. This is not the exact same schematic. This Zenith manual I had doesn't address that particular model, but it does say that they're very similar, and I presume the burst amp and the oscillator are all pretty much the same here. So hopefully this will be able to get him going. I'll post this and then you can take a look at it.